All right, welcome back for another episode of the Cuboh Restaurant Tech Podcast. Today, we're talking about order management software. So, with DoorDash, UberEats, other third-party delivery apps, white label online ordering, all this has created a massive amount of opportunity in the restaurant industry, but it's kind of come with a new set of challenges. In particular, how do you manage being on multiple delivery apps? How do you manage having multiple delivery tablets? And how do you get some analytics across your channels, across these apps, across locations to help you optimize your online ordering? And so that's where order management software has really come into the restaurant industry and changed up the game a little bit. So let's get into first the benefits of this type of software, why I think you should be considering it, and then we'll get into how to actually go about implementing some order management software and some tips so you can be successful. So, number one benefit is for sure the tablet consolidation, the order consolidation. Typically, when you're on multiple delivery apps, your average restaurant might be on 3, 4, 5, 6 different delivery apps when you start talking about the large cross the country apps, and then you might have some local apps that you're on. And so it's pretty easy to imagine a situation where you've got 3, 4, 5, 6 tablets, and you have someone on your team that has to manage those, has to be monitoring them. They're manually entering orders into your POS. Maybe there's some mistakes happening. And so for sure, the biggest benefit of this order management software is consolidating all those tablets into just one device. You can get all your orders across all your channels in one place. And it really helps streamline the process, keeps all the key information, all the key data in one place rather than across 6 different tablets. The next biggest benefit is how these systems help you manage order information. It's never fun when an order gets messed up. It's frustrating for the customers. It's frustrating for the restaurant. But sometimes it can be difficult to tell what exactly went wrong. Did the customer actually order the modification? No peppers on their pizza. Did your team actually make it to spec? Did you send the delivery driver the right address? Did the customer provide you with the right address? All these little things are going to help you figure out what went wrong. And so order management software will store this info, this order information, and allow you to go back and audit that information, take a look if you need to. Another major benefit is the access to restaurant analytics, deeper, more insightful analytics. I'm a big numbers guy. I'm a big data guy. I believe that we've all got opinions and ideas, but unless you have some data, some information to root that idea in, that opinion, it really is just that. So with this order management software, you can see which channels are working best, which menu items are working best, what times of day, what ingredient. You get much deeper analytics across channels, menus, locations that are going to allow you to make more informed decisions about your online ordering strategy. Next is how these softwares, this order management software, can actually simplify the ordering process. It simplifies it not only for your team, but for your customers as well. So consider this example of an order comes in through a delivery app that's manually entered into the POS by one of your staff. That order then gets sent to the kitchen. Maybe there's some issues with things getting entered in incorrectly or a delay that they didn't see the order right away. Compare that with order management software, where that order comes through the delivery app and in real time is automatically sent to your POS, is automatically sent to your kitchen printer. There's no opportunity for human error. It's all instant. It's like having a ghost employee whose main job is to sit there and punch in the orders, but they do it perfectly every time. So it's really easy to see how this is an improvement for your team, but as well on the flip side, for your customers, It's an easier process for them. There's less opportunities for mistakes. It's going to happen faster. And so there's just some little improvements there as well for your customers. And then on the flip side of that, another perhaps lesser benefit of these order management softwares is that they help you communicate with delivery drivers. It's going to, the order information that we talked about earlier, like that's going to come into play. That's going to be useful, but you can push order status updates to your drivers, and you can use the information that you have to just really create that a great process for them as well, because they're the ones taking the food to your customers. They're your last mile logistics. So having a strong relationship with your drivers is really to your benefit. And then one final benefit that should definitely not be overlooked is the ability to integrate your order management software with other tech and really make your life easier, take your restaurant to the next level. So for instance, one example that I like to use is connecting your order management software with inventory management software. And so in that way, when a new order comes in, the technology will calculate what ingredients go into making that product, what's actually involved in creating that, and then all of that gets automatically deducted from your inventory. So you don't have to manually go into the back room, into the dry storage, into the walk-in fridge, and you're not checking what's low. It's all of this is happening with the tech, and then you're notified, or automation can even send orders directly to your suppliers. So it's just one example of how you can take this platform technology and layer on other tech to make your life even easier. Now, one of the biggest challenges with order management software is actually implementing it, and that is training your team to use it. Getting up and running on the software, doing the onboarding, that can be relatively easy, but actually using it, actually operating it every day, that's where the potential difficulties lie. And so one of the biggest things I suggest people focus on, restaurant operators focus on when they're implementing order management software, is training your team really effectively. So what does that actually look like? What does that actually require? First of all, have an overall concept, have an overall plan. Why are you doing this? What's the goal with the order management software? Have a plan with how online ordering fits within your restaurant and your business overall, where this order management software fits within online ordering, and your overall strategy. It's really going to help you be more successful if you just take a step back and look at it at a high level. And it's going to help you generate employee buy-in. Having that buy-in is going to be absolutely key for not only getting people motivated to learn a new tool, but for if things go wrong or if there's some difficult moments, because you might be bought in as the operator, you get it, you're on board, you see the benefits, but for your team, your staff, they weren't involved in the sales cycle and they maybe didn't do the same research that you've done. So getting your team to buy in is going to be a really important step as well. Then I suggest doing some hands-on training. Get the tablets in people's hands, get the software in people's hands, start poking around the platform and do some hands-on real-world training. You can talk about it, you can do videos, you can read documentation, but at the end of the day, what's going to be most impactful for your team, what's going to be the best learning is actually using it, is actually doing it. There's no replacement for that. And then when you are doing that, do some testing, try some different scenarios, try to break something. Try and figure out what's the most complicated scenario we can come up with, because then when that happens in the real world, it's not new, right? You'll have gone through this once before. It's going to help your training. It's going to help you uncover edge cases and really wrap your head around what the tool does. And then the last thing I'll add on here is to follow up with your team. Don't just do the training session, set it and forget it. Make sure everyone's on board, everyone understands, follow up with people. Some people like to learn differently or learn at different paces. So make sure everyone's on board. And that is really going to make sure that this software has the most positive impact that it can on your business. It's really an interesting piece of software, and it's being used by all kinds of savvy restaurant operators of all shapes and sizes. That just about wraps up our episode on order management software. If you have any questions, any comments, any feedback about the podcast, I would absolutely love to hear it. But in the meantime, I'll just say thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a great day.